On today's episode, I want to take a look at the new NIK Collection 5. This is software by DxO. Now, they've been working to improve this software through the years, and now we're up to the 5th version. There's been a lot of new features added to this software. We have a new interface. It's really cool. I think you're going to enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and take a look at the new NIK Collection 5. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. Yeah, so the new NIK Collection 5 is out. Pretty exciting, and I have always loved the NIK collection of software, but we're going to take a look at the new version today. I'm going to show you some of my favorite new features. One especially is Clearview, and that comes over from PhotoLab 5. It's a really great filter. And two other highlights for me are Upoint technology coming to color effects and analog effects with Luminance and Chrominance controls. So that's a biggie right there. And lastly, the other thing that really excites me is the new interface. Who doesn't like a new interface? But you're going to see that all here shortly. I won't be showing all the new features, but I just want to showcase the ones that really mean a lot to me. If you don't yet have the NIK Collection by DxO, you can download a free trial of the NIK Collection 5 and check it out for yourself and see if it is something that will be right for you. I'll leave my affiliate link in the description below. You can click on that. That'll take you right to the NIK Collection 5 website where you could download a free trial or you could purchase it. If you've never owned any NIK Collection software from DxO, it will cost you $149 for the NIK Collection 5. Now, for NIK Collection 3 and 4 owners, you get this update for $79. So that's a really nice savings. So you don't want to miss out on that. Now, there is no promo code for this sale, but if you click on my affiliate link, I make a small commission, and that helps me to keep these YouTube tutorials coming your way, and I really appreciate it, and I thank you if you'll do that. Well, let's jump right in. I'll be working from Photoshop today, but you can also use the NIK Collection 5 with Lightroom. I'm not getting into that today. I'm just going to show you Photoshop and my 3 favorite features, okay? So there are 2 different ways of launching the NIK software from Photoshop. One way is to come up to Filter and come to the NIK Collection and find the piece of software you want to launch right here. Or you could use the Nik Selective Tool. Now, you'll find that by coming up to File, coming to Automate, and you're going to find it right here, Nik Selective Tool. Click on that, and here's the Nik Selective Tool, and you can get to all your software here. And also, if you scroll down through here, you got a bunch of different meta presets in here that you can apply these presets right to your image. I'm not getting into that today. I just want to show you my favorite new features to the NIK Collection 5, but we'll save that for another time. Today, I'll be using Color Effects Pro 5, but all the other software has had interface updates as well. Now, you don't even have to duplicate your background layer. NIK does that for you, so just click on Color Effects Pro 5 and it will launch the software. And check out the new interface for Color Effects Pro 5. It's a nice clean interface. Let's look on the left side. As you can see, things look a little different here. There's 55 filters. Right now I'm on all, which you're seeing all 55 filters here. And you'll notice you have little stars that you could check for your favorite filters, which is really nice. And then you can just click on favorites and filter by favorites, and it just shows your favorites. Click that again, you'll see them all. It'll show you recently used filters as well. So that's kind of neat, and I like that. We'll cut these off. But then you have different groups, different categories, for film, glass, macro. But these would be groupings of the filters that work very well with that genre of photography. And then obviously you would just click on the filter that you wanted to use. Now we have presets down here. There's 39 presets. We can open this up. And there's all presets. Here's the 25th anniversary presets, which you'll get. The On Vogue presets and sample recipes. It's all here. And then you'll have your custom presets as well as presets that you've imported. And then you also have a history which records everything that you do while you're inside of Color Effects. Now I'm going to go ahead and open my filters up, and here's all my different filters in here. And I'm going to add a filter, but first I want you to pay attention to the right side of the interface. You're going to notice something new here. It says DxO filters, but it says Clearview. This is new, and grain. Now, Clearview is a wonderful filter that's found in PhotoLab 5, but now DxO has brought it over to color effects, which I am so grateful for. You're going to use this all the time, and I guarantee you're going to love it. If you've used Clearview before, let me know in the comment section below from Photolab 5, or if you think it's a welcome addition here in color effects, let me know. For me, it truly is a welcome addition. If you've never seen Clearview in action before, you're going to understand why it's called Clearview. I'm going to start dragging this intensity slider to the right and watch what happens to the image. You see how it's getting nice and clear, and it's getting a nice pop to it. I'll keep dragging it to the right so you can see the extreme amount you can really add. That's up to 100%, but isn't that crazy? Let me click on compare. Here's the before, and here is the after. Now that's way too much, honestly, but let me pull it back to a place where I think it looks nice for this image. And I'm thinking right around here, but check this out. Here is the before, and here's the after, but doesn't that do a beautiful job? I love Clearview. So that's a welcome addition to Color Effects Pro. Now, the other thing they brought in is grain. Now, this is a real grain. I'm going to call it a grain engine, but it's like it emulates real film grain. And right now it says original, but if you click here on this drop down, you'll see all these different types of film, and it'll emulate grain from all these different films. So if you're into grain, like I'm into grain, you're going to love this new grain filter, engine, whatever you want to call it. It's here for you if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, just leave it be. But for me, I love it, but I'm not going to get into it today. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a filter. Now this is something a little different in the interface. I mean, if I want to add tonal contrast, this filter, I could click right here and add it, but I recommend that you click the plus. If you click the plus, it adds it to the stack. And then if you want to add another filter, what you will do, like say if I want to add the vignette filter, click the plus, and it will add it to the stack here. If I didn't hit that plus, it would remove the tonal contrast filter. So that's kind of important. I recommend that you use the plus when you're adding filters here, okay? If you want to add a filter. If you want to remove the previous filter, don't hit the plus and it'll remove it, okay? But I'm going to click the X on the vignette for now. But let's work with the tonal contrast because I want to show you the new Luminance and Chrominance controls in the Upoint technology. Another thing I want to point out, you see that little orange bar there? That lets you know that that filter is in my stack over here. So anytime you see an orange bar, that filter will be in your list over here, okay? Now, see the little triangle right here? If you click here, you're going to find your presets inside of here. So we have like 4 different presets that we could use here. And let me see if I want to use one of these presets. Right now we're on the default. Let's just stick with that. But the way this tonal contrast works is it breaks your contrast down into highlights, midtones, and shadows so you can get really specific contrast adjustments. And if I click this checkbox, here's the before and here's the after. But look at all the details that pop out. Now, I don't like what's happening in the sky. But you also have a saturation control, which is handy. You have different types of contrast that you can pick from. Right now we're on standard, but you can see you have high, pass, fine, balanced, and strong. I'm going to leave it on standard, and you can also protect your shadows and your highlights from getting too much contrast, so that's nice as well. And then you have an opacity slider, which if the overall adjustment is too high, you can take this opacity and all these controls will be coming down equally when you take this opacity back, okay? And then again, you have individual adjustments of each one of these sliders, highlights, midtones, and shadows. We're just going to leave it the way it is right now. Right now, total contrast is added to the entire image, but what if I only want it on these foreground areas? So what we can do here is we can use control points. Now we have plus control points and minus control points. Now, plus control points will only add the effect wherever we click a plus control point. A minus control point will subtract it. But let's say we only want to add it to the foreground area. So let's click on this plus control point. And let's find an area like right here. Click one time. And you notice the effect comes off everything but this area right here. Now, I can take the slider and drag this to the right. And you see that circle gets wider. That's the area it's going to be affecting in here. But we can take a look at the mask that it is creating for us. And if we click right here in this icon, we can actually see the mask. The light areas are going to get most of the effect. The dark areas will get less. Solid black will get no effect. But then we have luminance and chrominance. Now, this is what's new to color effects now, and this is a great welcome. We can adjust the luminance and fine-tune our adjustment here. We can drag it to the right, and you'll notice the selection gets tighter. If I move it to the left, it broadens out so I can pick more of the area up. But maybe right around there, and we can also work with color. That would be the chrominance. So let me drag this slider to the right. Yeah, that's going the wrong direction. Now let me go to the left. You see I'm lightening that area up. And you stop when you get it to the point where everything is lit up enough, and right there looks good. Now we can shut that mask off by clicking right here in this icon again. And there we can see it. And then we could come here where it says Tonal Contrast. We can see here is the before and here's the after. But you notice it's only affecting this area. Now, what if I want to affect this area over here as well? So I can grab myself another positive control point, click on this, and let's click over right around here somewhere. Let's make that circle wider. Okay. Now let's take a look at the mask. And I always like to do this. Click on this mask icon and we can see it. So let's adjust the luminance to the left and lighten that area up a lot more, say somewhere around there. And let's work with the chrominance as well. Well, I'm going the wrong way, so I need to go to the left. I've got to watch that I keep it out of the sky, and that's pretty good. It's a little dark right in here, but here's a little tip for you. You can hold your Command or Control key down, and then I'll click on Control Point 1. Now they're both selected, as you can see right there. Now if I click this icon, we can see the overall mask. And I think it's doing a really good job. If it wasn't, I could add another mask right here in the center, but I think I'm good for now. I think I'm going to be fine. So let's click this again. And now you can see we're only affecting this whole foreground area. Now here is the before and here is the after. And we're not affecting the sky, which is really nice. Now here is the overall before and after. If I click on compare, here's the overall before and here is the overall after. So we added Clearview. Let me shut Clearview off. You can see what it's done. But look at that Clearview. I love this. You're going to love this. There's Clearview, and then now let me shut off the Tonal Contrast. There's before, and just watch the foreground. It's only affecting the foreground area. So pretty cool. Now you've seen the new interface. You see the new Clearview, which is really awesome in my opinion. And now you can see the control points with luminance and chrominance. And the same luminance and chrominance is in the analog effects as well. But let me go ahead and click apply. That's all I really want to do for now. Click apply. That'll send us back into Photoshop. Okay, I'm just going to X out of this selective tool. But we can take a look here. Here is the before and here is the after. But this is the NIK Collection 5. But again, what I wanted to show you today was the Clearview, the new interface, and also the Upoint technology with the chrominance and luminance controls, which is really nice, which is also going to be found in like silver effects, and it's going to be found in analog effects. So it's a really substantial update. Well, there it is. This is a great update. NIK Collection 5. If you don't have it, go ahead and get a free trial and try it out for yourself. If you don't have either the NIK Collection 3 or 4, it will cost you $149. But if you do have the NIK Collection 3 or 4, it's only going to cost you $79 to get the NIK Collection 5. Just click on my affiliate link in the description below. It'll take you right to the sale. And when you do that, I make a small commission, and it helps me to keep these tutorials coming your way, and I thank you for that. Well, please leave comments and questions. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this tutorial today, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Click that bell notification icon. That way, every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I'll see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing.